Okay, here's the deal. In a few days, my editor's notes are about to land in my inbox, and I have been spiraling. Like, all week, my mind has been jumping between impending doom and pretending I'm prepared for professional criticism. I've been waiting for these edits for months, but now it's actually the week of, and my nervous system is saying absolutely not. But also, I'm ecstatic, because today is the first time I'm actually talking about my novel on this channel. So hi, I'm Am Garrett, and welcome to my journey. So I actually feel pretty good about getting these edits back. I mean, obviously there's some tightening that needs to be done. This is a draft, I'm not that delusional. The thing is that I've already reread my novel 2 times before turning it into my editor. So I guess in a way, I've done a few pre-edits before handing it in. I feel like I've tried to tighten up pacing and to finish off emotional arcs, so there can't be anything that catastrophic. Right? Okay, in all seriousness, I do already have an idea of the areas I need to improve on and what I did well, but I'm really excited to hear what my editor actually says. Personally, I feel like I ended the story really well, closing off all emotional arcs, but then again, I've always been better at starting stories than actually finishing them. I did intend this book to be a standalone, so I do feel like I built emotional tension consistently throughout the story, though it may still be something I have to work on. I will say, I personally struggle a lot with internal conflict, and that was actually one of the reasons I had to rewrite my novel, because I kind of had to apply it everywhere. But hopefully that actually fixed pacing and made the story overall a lot better, but I guess we'll see. The one thing I do feel very confident on throughout my novel is that I play consistently with the themes, since they tie hand in hand with my main character's internal conflict, so therefore there can't be that much room for error. Right? Okay, so here's the part of the video where we get to play How Will My Editor Slowly Break My Heart? I'm gonna decide what it is my editor's gonna come raining down on, though I have a pretty strong feeling that the majority of the issues are gonna be things I haven't even thought of yet. Okay, so if I were to say what I'm personally very worried about, it would be Chapter 3 and my climax. I know that's really specific, but Chapter 3 is right in between my inciting incident and everything exciting about my novel, but it's too important to cut because it's where I start off a mysterious element, and it's also how I get to point A to point B, so. However, my editor may tell me that I explore too much throughout it, which brings me to why I'm nervous for my climax, because I like exploring tangents. I am a bit of a rambler, guilty as charged, but the reason I'm specifically worried about my climax is because it wasn't the focus of all my rewrites. So therefore, I feel like it's the most vulnerable to edits, and though it may need some work, I do feel pretty proud of what I wrote. Another thing that I know is going to come up, and I'm absolutely dreading it, is length. So I do know that as a standalone novel, it's allowed to be a bit longer than an average novel, but I'm currently at 154,000 words, so yeah, there's going to be a lot of cuts that need to be made. Shifting away from major plot things, there is a minor plot of romance in my story because, what can I say, I love reading romanticises. But I am a bit worried that because I, in all of my singleness, know nothing about love other than what I read, my editor may come after that. Okay, there's one side character out of the very few side characters I wrote that I do have a feeling my editor will come after because, I mean, she'll probably say he doesn't serve a major purpose in the story. But I swear, when I originally had the novel idea in my mind, I was gonna give this guy a bigger role and a more loved part, but when I actually wrote it, his group ended up coming in a lot later than anticipated, so I didn't have the time to make him a major character. Oh, and that just made me realize that probably half the metaphors in my stories are gonna have to get cut because of length. And I'm probably getting worked up before I even get the edits back, so I feel like this is a pretty good spot to mention that I notoriously hate editing. Like, I despise it with every fiber of my being. The problem is that with writing, it's all about freeing the creativity and getting down the story that I've had keeping me up for years. But editing is the accountability that while I may love a lot of the story, that doesn't make it good or useful to the plot. Plus, it doesn't help that I have a tendency to overthink, well, everything. But don't worry, because like the overthinker I am, I came prepared. So first, we have enough ice cream to get us through the week. Then we have enough chips for late night writing. And then, while of course we have my favorite mug and enough tea, for writing. Last, but definitely not least, I got my emotional support animal to help get me through the week. The next time you see me, I'll either be humbled or unstoppable, but either way, I can't wait to see you next time where I'll hopefully have my edits back. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on next week's video where I will be reacting to my editor's comments. Fingers crossed that everything goes well, and if you don't hear from me again, you can assume that Chapter 10 didn't make it. This is A.M. Garrett signing off.